Overconsumption by Rosario Garcia and Danica Cristobal. Overconsumption. Overconsumption is one of the major drivers in the global environment going downhill. This harms natural resources such as deforestation, pollution, greenhouse gas, and water animal life. Governments have also caused this issue in partaking in subsidizing fossil fuels and agriculture. Corporations and companies have also planned everything out and for the customers to think everything's a need. Fast fashion leading. Most of these issues and problems are going off individual greed and the issues in the corporation industry. Consumer culture has become such a personal and individual priority in providing success and happiness. The social consequences of overconsumption include damaging behaviors, food and economic insecurity, people who depend on natural resources becoming vulnerable, fast fashion, social problems related to working conditions, and trends causing high demand. Damaging behaviors. Humans have routines. Routines may cause unconscious repetitive actions of consumption. As time progresses, these actions build up, leading to overconsumption. Damaging behaviors can apply to humans, like smoking cigarettes. It can also apply to the environment, like the discarding of cigarettes in whatever fashion that may be, a trash bin or thrown on the ground. Without even realizing it, most humans contribute to the overconsumption because of the familiarity of routine. Food and economic insecurity. Food and economic insecurity stem from the overexploitation of natural resources. The loss of natural resources and environmental damage can threaten lives. Farmers depend on the environment and natural resources. Whether it is waste piling up in the fields or the depletion of natural resources, stripping that away from them harms not only the farmers but the community that depends on their harvests. People who depend on natural resources become vulnerable. As stated before, food and economic insecurity stem from the overexploitation of natural resources. This affects farmers as well as individuals in countries that heavily depend on natural resources. Overconsumption affects their daily lives. The demand for clothing in one part of the world can affect the lives of those thousands of miles away. When resources become scarce, people turn against one another in order to survive. This leads to conflicts which jeopardize hundreds of lives. Fast fashion, social problems related to working conditions. Fast fashion is a leading cause of overconsumption. Fast fashion is a term that describes the rapid production of clothing designed to meet public demand and maximize corporate profits. The practices often associated with fast fashion raise significant concerns about working conditions, like poor working conditions, unfair wages, and intensive labor. One may endure these laborious work conditions to get by in life, while the receiving end simply presses a button to satisfy their wants. Trends cause high demand. Fast fashion is due to the high demand for a certain product. More specifically, there's high demand for low-cost products. People want to keep up with the latest trends to fit in. Because of this, companies develop supply chains that manufacture high volumes of low-quality material in developing countries. This increases water and gas emissions that are released into the atmosphere. Companies only care about making profits. The consumer mindset drives companies to make more without a care in the world. They motivate one another. Moving on to ecological consequences of overconsumption. There's land use for fast fashion industry, the use of hazardous chemicals in fast fashion, waste generated in production and consumption, pollution, and heightens global temperatures. Land use for fast fashion industry. Between the years of 1975 and 2018, textile production had a 120% increase in only 40 years. Since there has been a higher demand, numerous factories have been built to support them. Building factories to aid overconsumption takes up land. Land use dedicated to this industry increases greenhouse gas emissions and water pollution. The use of hazardous chemicals in fast fashion. Textile production involves thousands of hazardous chemicals that affect the water, air, the overall environment, and humans. Chemicals affecting the air lead to respiratory issues. Water contamination affects humans as well as animals because it is a drinking source and their habitat. This can cause health issues. Chemicals affecting the environment also affect ecosystems. Soil can become contaminated, leading to poor harvests and unsafe food for animals. Biodiversity in ecosystems can be lost due to chemicals if disrupted. Chemicals in the environment have more negative outcomes than positive. Waste generated in production and consumption. Whether it is the production of agricultural goods or the construction of a home, waste is found due to the insufficient use or the use of non-renewable materials. The production of a good can vary depending on certain human needs. These needs come in waves, they come and go. This leads to the overproduction of items and the overconsumption of resources. The manufacturing process impacts the environment through emissions that lead to air pollution and the exhaustion of limited resources. Pollution. Pollution from unsustainable consumption and production greatly damages water and air, which harms the planet. Pollution is not only the outcome of the end of a lifespan for a product, but takes place at every stage of production. The extraction, processing, manufacturing, and distribution of the good or service. Pollutants can be found in the air, water, soil, and land. Whatever the pollutant may contaminate, the effects are harmful to the environment. The heightening of global temperatures. The average global temperature is rising at an alarming rate. The heightened use of greenhouse gases by humans contributes to the rise in the Earth's temperature. A small rise in average global temperatures can have devastating effects, resulting in more intense natural disasters and causing irreparable damage to ecosystems. The effects of overconsumption range from social to ecological consequences. This affects our daily living and inevitably our future. It is important not to fall into the traps of trends and to be conscious of what you put out in the environment. As of now, there's nowhere else to go besides our planet Earth, which is why it is important to take care of it. Thanks for watching.